Hello, here's the fifth one. And this last week has been quite busy. Almost 2 weeks now since the last one, but I found time to make another one and, to talk about the thing that I left open more or less in the last two that I was speaking about getting inside ourselves. And this will be about goals. My take on them, how I view them, how, my experience in general. And, first of all, I want to say that they are very important. And if we know or not, our subconscious mind always has some goals. And it just, even if we're not aware, that's how I feel. Because if we have to have something to look up to, forward to, otherwise we would just go down, and a lot of people go down, obviously. But if you're on the way to get the best out of them and out of your life, I believe we need to take them in our hands, and deal with them personally and really think about it. And as I said in the previous video, is if we get inside, it's easier for us to set goal. And the more we get inside, the more we realize that it's quite important to have them. But we're different and we perceive, things differently, and we have different experience, and we're in different stages of our life. Once we get to, start thinking of them or not. But I have, obviously, and, so are you probably. And I've read a lot of books and ideas on how to set goals, what are the proper ones, big visions, big things, look 10 years in the future. Everything is cool. But I believe as you progress as a human being while you're getting inside yourself, it's the same with goals. You're not fit to have a big grand vision, if you have issues with yourself. So once you clear things out, you can start working on that. So I would say that to start off with the goals is the most important thing is, again, pen and paper. And just start small, if you ask me. There is difference between people. If you're extroverted like I am and I'm all over the place, I'm very spontaneous and I like to live that way, it's gonna be tougher, But if you're more introverted person, it might be a little bit easier for you to start setting goals. So as I was saying, there are many, many ideas on how we should deal with them, but all of them start with sitting down and writing them down. And as I said a few times already, it's very much, they have very much in common with, how we perceive ourselves, how much we are in touch with ourselves. So I would suggest to anyone that is, starting to develop himself or herself to first read as much as you can on that matter. And then slowly you will start to realize what fits for you and how you should go on by them. But definitely the beginning of any proper long-term, relationship with yourself and proper setting of goals begins with a pen and a paper. Even if this sounds a little bit strange, but it works. It worked for me. It took me quite some time and many books on different, things to realize that it is important to set goals, and they have to be specific. There is quite a few of ideas that go by SMART goals, they have to be specific, measurable, and, all this kind of stuff. Read on that and think about it, but don't start with huge goals too quickly, because they might become a problem for you. And I believe a lot of people point that out as well. So if I sum this video up about goals is, as I was saying in the previous two videos, the more you are in touch with yourself, the easier it gets for you to set proper goals. But I would suggest anyone who has just started dealing with him or herself and setting goals is just take a sheet of paper and write down what do you want, and make them specific, and then work around that. And don't worry about too many things or too much details at the beginning. Just do it often, spend time with you and rewrite them often. think I'm gonna wrap the video here. I will, talk about goals in the future episodes for sure more when, when I get to notice new things happening for me. But as I said, I will be talking about my experience. So my experience with setting goals was like that. Most of my life, I've been just living day to day, and I was angry on many people and many things. In realize it depends more on me than them. And once you start setting goals and really start to go by them, things starts to change slowly. And one thing that's really important when you set goals or when you start to get in touch with yourself, I think, is that you don't give up. You keep going on. You keep doing it even though it might sometimes feel it's not going anywhere. But just don't give up, and you will see results. I've seen them, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. So yeah, I'll talk more about, because it's already been like 6 minutes. I'll talk more about my experience and experiences and how things changed me. But really, it all started down with the pen and paper, like I've pointed out a couple of times already. Anyhow, I'm gonna leave you with this, and yeah, I'll see you soon. It's next week probably. Have a good week. Bye bye.